pregnancy was very normal. I had a sort of odd labour with her that didn't progress in a way that I didn't understand at the time. Friends and family would come over and they'd say, oh, look at her looking at the trees, isn't that lovely? Or look at her looking up at the window. And I would look at her and I would think, yeah, but is she? I don't think she's got any sight, she's not fixing, she's not following, she's not smiling, she's not holding her head, her muscle tone is really, really low. There just seemed to me to be 1,001 things about this child that are not as they should be. I finally got in front of this brilliant doctor and shared all these concerns. It's a moment I remember. I was so relieved that someone was finally taking me seriously. And she said, I agree with you. And I think that we should send her for an MRI urgently. And that's sort of where it all started and where it all changed.
Vici syndrome is a horrific multi-system disorder that affects children. Currently, there are no available treatments.
The line I remember is it said something like, Vici syndrome is one of the most serious multi-system genetic disorders known to modern medicine.
It affects almost every system in the body, causing major defects in the central nervous system. It affects the immune system, in particular in terms of development. There's a neurodegenerative component. So these children really suffer from multiple disorders.
I think the only question I asked was, what's the life expectancy? She said 42 months. It has changed every detail of our life. I think in some ways COVID is quite useful as a reference point because we say to people it's basically lockdown, like that's how we live. We take each day as it comes.
The basic research that we're doing is essentially fundamental cell biology. We're trying to understand the consequences of mutations of this EPG5 protein for cell biology. Mitochondria are incredibly important. They provide all the energy in the cell. To what extent does the mitochondrial dysfunction contribute to the development of the disease progression? If we can rescue function in this model, then that raises questions about whether we could all equally rescue function in other neurodegenerative disorders and right up to more common diseases such as Parkinson's disease.
Oh my God,
I think the research that Action is funding into Vici syndrome is really exciting. Any level of kind of clinical interest and input can only help children like Em.
The funding that we have from Action Medical Research is incredibly important. It allows us, of course, to address the basic biological questions and hopefully to come up with solutions. I think that for patients with Vici syndrome and with other rare neurological diseases in childhood, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
It's about an investment in the children in the future, families like ours who, you know, in whatever 30, 40, 50 years time when receiving this diagnosis, have something that they can do to help that child. That will be an incredible legacy.
You're laughing again. Emily.